This movie is available to watch on Stars. If you're interested in this type of stuff, the witchcraft, kind of thriller, drama type deal. So, Internet Movie Database, Rotten Tomatoes, Common Sense Media, Google. We have scores of 45, 48, 53, 60. And here's the Google synopsis. An eclectic foursome of aspiring teenage witches get more than they bargained for as they lean into their newfound powers. Now, this movie came out in 2020, and the original one came out, as I stated, 1996. So it's been a while. It's been a while. Here's how Common Sense Media breaks it down. Are there any positive messages? The story is a metaphor for women coming into their power, finding community, acceptance, friendship, and support among women. What makes you different is what makes you powerful. Are there any positive role models in here? Friendship among characters of different races, ethnicities in a diverse high school. Positive portrayal of a transgender character. A teen boy is emotionally vulnerable as he discusses the challenges of being bisexual in a high school environment. His honesty has positive consequences. Conversations about giving consideration to gender, sexual, and race identity. Now, it says here what parents need to know. Parents need to know that The Craft Legacy is a follow-up to 1996 teen witch cult classic The Craft. While its story beats are similar to the original, a teen outsider finds friendship with three other outcasts, and they form a coven. It's much less violent than the first film. Yeah, that was a major difference. And it shapes the narrative with a more progressive feminist take. For example, when one of the girls uses magic irresponsibly instead of turning on one another, they take a break and encourage self-control. And in what is likely a welcome first for a studio-produced mainstream film, a popular teen boy ends up in tears while explaining how confusing and challenging it is to be bisexual in a society that connects masculinity with heteronormativity. His ability to open up and express his emotions has positive consequences. The girls in their high school are diverse in multiple ways. For example, one of the witches is a well-adjusted Latinx transgender girl, as is the actress who plays her, Zoe Luna. And everyone is cool with that. The teens sit through a sex ed video that says consent is a requirement. Teens kiss passionately and there's some crude sex talk and 2 moments of implied sex acts. Okay. Now keep in mind, I know that the other side is always saying, go woke, go broke. I haven't heard any talk about, and to tell you the truth, I didn't even know about this movie till not too long ago anyway. So I will say that the budget on the film was $18 million, which is basically what it cost for them to make the film and to market it. And the box office was only $2.3 million. Now, that means that they lost $15.7 million. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, because it went woke, so it went broke, because, what does woke mean to them? Anything that has black folks or women or, anything from the LGBT community, if they're not straight and white, it's woke, and we don't like it because we don't like to see diversity. Okay, well, keep in mind, I've seen plenty of movies actually underperform and lose a lot of money, and it had nothing to do with wokeness. As I had talked about before, Scream 4 underperformed, but they didn't lose any money, but nobody was saying it was like woke or anything. Scream 6 got banned in Lebanon because it was woke, because 2 of the characters were lesbian, but they still far exceeded their, budget. You're talking $40 million budget, $169 million box office. There's also a horror film called, like a little suspense thriller film called Six Souls with Julianne Moore. I'll talk about that in another video. The budget on that film was $18 million. The box office was only $4 million. They lost $14 million, and there was no wokeness in there at all. There was no, I don't even remember if anybody black or was in the movie or anything like that. No Asians. It's okay. No gays, no lesbians. So just because a movie went broke doesn't mean that it was woke. So those two things don't always go together. So And let's see. Here's how Common Sense Media gives its synopsis of it. In The Craft Legacy, Lily moves to a new town with her mom to live with Adam and his three sons. Lily is befriended by three classmates who ask her to join their coven, but their freshly discovered powers quickly get out of hand. Now, the question is it good? Is it any good? Today's socially, politically aware teens are likely to enjoy this progressive update of the Coven classic that 90s kids grew up with. Writer-director Zoe Lister-Jones offers examples of positive, diverse representation, including a transgender girl, bisexual boy, and uses the film to explore identity politics. Many Gen Zers are already talking about all this stuff with each other, and it's great that Lister-Jones is tapping into that. However, similarly to how main character Lily uses telekinesis to invisibly shove a bully into a wall, this movie's updates improvements are made with such force that they can feel like a jolt, drawing your attention to the action rather than the outcome. As a key example, Lily's intended future stepfather, Adam, is a self-help guru in the realm of the so-called crisis of masculinity. Lister-Jones draws a line in the sand here. Old white males bad, younger generation good, unless they're being indoctrinated by old white males. In creating a character who will likely inspire many younger viewers to double down on their antipathy toward middle-aged white men, Lister-Jones's noble effort comes off a bit much like a caricature. For many adults, it might almost feel like satire, but for teens, it will come across more as empowering encouragement that they're the ones who need to light our social cultural beliefs and institutions on fire and watch them burn. Families can talk about the identity issues addressed in this movie. What examples of diversity and inclusion did you notice? Did you think teens are more accepting than adults of others' differences? How is this movie similar to and different from the original Craft? So, first I want to say I will give the original movie a little bit more of a higher rating, and I don't even remember if I rated it in the last video. If anything, it's about a 7-ish, 7.5, maybe close to an 8. This one I'll probably give about 6.5, just to be fair. I will say the other one was a little bit more attention-grabbing. And maybe it had something to do with the stars in the movie, too, because we've seen them in other places. But the only thing I noticed in here about the diversity is, yeah, you had the boy who was bi, and then you had one of the girls that was black. So, there's that. But because of how much money this movie lost, I don't know how many different groups and organizations really took to the internet to complain about this, because, they probably were too busy complaining about things like, well, no, I can't say Black Mermaid because that wasn't out at the time, but who knows? They were probably complaining about Pepe Le Pew or just some crazy stuff, just whatever nonsense. I don't know. But overall, I give it a 6.5. And if you want to watch it, it's available on Stars. So other than that, those are the only two Craft movies. So you check it out and you let me know what you think.